YouTube, we got a little hiccup. Roger that. I will make sure to record my class. Thank you. All right. So nothing is due today, right? Which means the only thing you should be turning in is if you didn't turn in 111 yesterday. Okay? I don't want to give you 113 yet, but you need 112 out, right? So if you don't have 112 out, we're going to do that examples from class section, and then if you have it done, I might let you turn it in ahead of time. I got it. I'm sorry.
Oh, did you look at the No, I actually should work. Like, I actually don't work. Yesterday, I actually
around it or something. Smith, we got to figure out.
You have notes.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I know.
What's up?
The notes.
We're going to talk about it right now. Area of trapezoid, or you're asking about the games? That is all. There's no right answer. I just want to see what you guys think of and why you guys think things are fair.
Get your game card. Because Miss Rayborn never did.
All right. Mr. Smith, would you throw my door shut? Mrs. Pettigrew's not quiet. Tell you what. What? That's just a fact. She would agree. She would say, yes, that is correct. I am not quiet. She would say the same thing about me. We are both not quiet, but I have gotten slightly quieter in the past couple years because I realized I was scaring some kids. Bro? What? Did I already scare you without being loud, Margot? Or are you laughing at people being scared of me? Stapler, back table, where all the paper stuff is. All right, so these problems right here, I had people come and ask me for help with. And my first responses were, as I promised, have you checked your math notes? Because all the formulas are there. Have you checked CPM homework help? And beyond that, because I did help some students with that, but I don't have time to do it in class, now in our Schoology page, if you go to our Math 7 Schoology page, I'm trying to get it in this folder that says Hudson Help Videos, but because I can't get that to work quite yet, my Schoology is just not cooperating. Right here where it says area of trapezoid, if you click on that, it's a whole little video from me that is walking through how you do the homework problem area of the trapezoid, and then another example of area of a trapezoid, because I know that trapezoids are the more difficult shapes for us. So I go through the whole process, I write out all my work. If you need help solving that area of trapezoid on your homework from last night, go check that out. It's on our Schoology, which you all should have access to, so check like AO or at some point. If there's any issues with your Schoology, let somebody know. Beyond that, we had questions on the back about the games, about like, how do I determine if something's fair or unfair, and do I have to fill in all of these? No, you don't have to fill in all of these, just, you know, some people like to do more than others. If you got like 3 or 4, if you got like 3 or 4 games, that's fine. And then what makes something fair or not, that's up to you. So like if you and I were to play rock, paper, scissors right now, do you think we have like equal chances of winning? Yeah. If we were to play the game that I love playing with my siblings called I Win, You Lose, is that fair? No. So like heads I win, tails you lose, right? We're going to flip a coin, heads I win, tails you lose.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair. Not really.
Heads I win, tails you lose.
I mean, like, you could, like, you know, by doing it.
So this, guys, there's no right answer. The right answer is having this completed, right, with whatever you think. Yeah, and then I'll take any other questions we have tomorrow, but that's everything I really wanted to run through for today. So that's not due today. If you choose to turn in later, that's fine, but keep that out because we're about to do Color-Rama. So how far did we make it yesterday? I think we made it through like set 3, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did we not talk about any of them?
No.
All right, so set 1. Sorry, then I must be mixing up classes. Yeah, Addie. Yeah.
So if we get the question wrong, we'll have to.
I might meet with you or circle some work and indicate like, hey, this was a goof, but this is practice, right? You make mistakes on practice. That just happens. On mastery assessment, sorry guys, Addie asked like, if you get a homework answer wrong, do you have to redo it? Not really, but like we go over it together, and you want to be aware that you did something wrong, so you don't do the same mistake in the future, right? So as I'm looking around the room, I'm seeing some really blank homework papers. So just it's okay. I'm not like calling anyone out, but make sure that you have it in your brain that's due tomorrow. If you don't have it done, it needs done today, so you can turn it in tomorrow. Okay, so make sure we're using that plan book. I guess while we're still getting in that habit, I will double check that everyone filled in their plan book. So if you did not fill in your plan book, here is the moment where you should. It's always supposed to be the first thing you do, but what's our homework today? Assuming we get to it. 113, right? Now, if we don't get to this, we'll circle it and move it down. We will move it into the Wednesday box. But for now, we're going to say that our homework today is probably going to be 113. Now, guys, you're still getting in these habits, but plan book should happen automatically. Very soon, I will not talk about it. It's just an automatic. It's the first thing you do when you get into a room. Every single class should be the first thing you do. Has any teacher said anything different that plan book isn't what you do first? Yeah, that's what I figured. I guess maybe, but still, I would say plan book first, then papers. All right, so on that 112, sorry, this is why I have my slides in order. Let's chat about yesterday's activity before we jump back into the new stuff we need to do. Who had set 1 yesterday? And again, you don't have to share if you don't want to. But Jana, can you tell me what you guys talked about with set 1, things they have in common or stuff you noticed?
We couldn't really figure out that much, so we just did, they're all numbers.
They're all numbers. Then, guys, we're going to give the opportunity to all of you. So everybody should be looking up here, and you shouldn't be trying to sneak and finish your homework right now because we're having class. What do all these have in common? Is that a hand? I couldn't tell. All right, Christian?
You add or subtract 2.
They're all 2 away from each other, right? 3 to 5, 98 to 100. Even -4 and -6 are 2 away from each other. Any other comments about this? What they have in common? What you can notice? Bella?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
If we didn't get to one of the sets that we talked about, are we supposed to write it on a paper?
No, we ran out of time. A lot of times we'll run out of time. We'll make it a part way into an activity. Might not make it all the way. So set 2. Who had set 2? Gabe, you want to tell us something about set 2? Yeah, it is kind of tough. 2, 5, 7, and 11. Yeah, 24 hours was a long time, right? It's hard to remember. Did you write it down? Did you guys get out your graph paper for yesterday? If you didn't get out your graph paper from yesterday, do it. So guys, part of this is seeing, can you do what you're supposed to do? So to put your hands on. I'm not, until I see your graph paper out from yesterday, I'm not moving on. Because the start slide told us we need graph paper out. Right? Guys, we got to get in the habits of doing what we need to do or it wastes time. And the problem is, some of you do everything you're supposed to do, and then you have to wait on people. So this is why we wrote stuff down on our graph paper. So if we didn't finish it yesterday, we can chat about it today. Right? So you can have yesterday's graph paper out, squiggle across it, and just say, I'm going to start a new day on the same page. All right, so card set 2. So they're all numbers. We kind of said that. Donovan, any thoughts?
There's this thing where it gets to a certain number and it's the apple of the tree or whatever. I forget what it's called.
Anyone remember the tree things? And it's the very end of the branch. Or it started with an F. Something. I think it's a factor tree, maybe you're thinking of?
Yeah, because you can't.
And I think what that tells us, if they're the things all the way at the end of the tree, is that these numbers are special numbers that start with a P.
I was thinking of yesterday.
They're prime. What does it mean to be prime? Miss?
You can't multiply something other than 1 to get it.
Yeah, you can only get that number with 1 and itself, right? So 6 is not prime because 2 and 3 make 6. 7 is prime because nothing else can make 7 except for 7 and 1. Very good. Yeah, those are all prime. That's what they were trying to get us to. Set 3. Anyone able to tell us what you said for set 3? Ivan. They're all one whole. Hold on, we got some side conversations. Bring it back. 100% is a whole of something. 4 out of 4, like pizza, right? 4 out of 4 slices. 10 tenths. I could also think pizza. 1.000. Did you guys know in other countries, instead of using the decimal, they actually use a comma?
Why?
So when I was in Greece this summer, my first time traveling international, I had to get used to, like, if something was 90 cents, like 0.9 euros, it was 0 comma, not like a decimal. Well, I just, before I went, actually a student last year taught me about that because she was using commas and I was very confused. And she said, oh, in my country where I came from, this is how we write numbers. I got to make the switch to decimals because now I'm in America. And that was education for me of like, oh, crap, how did I make it this far in life and not know that? Yeah, so it's a fun fact. I know, but in America. This is the problem with America, thinking like we're the end-all, be-all. Like, nah, there's tons of other countries that do things other ways. Addie, Sarah, was your hand up? My bad. It's probably because I was rambling. Any other things about these that you notice? Somebody did yesterday bring up we have fraction, decimal, percent, and then verbal. So kind of like the portions web that you guys started learning how to make, or like the triangle last year that some of your teachers probably did it, some probably didn't. Yeah, all right, set 4. Who had set 4? Yeah, Lindy? They all have 4 corners. What else? Misk? They all equal. I didn't even notice that. I know we'll need it out. Guys, if you don't have 1, 1, 2 out, we'll need it out. And I'm trying to save time when we transition. Please, if you don't have 1, 1, 2 out, please get it out. Yeah, they're all 24. That's crazy. So really, since that's the multiplication, that means the what of all of these shapes is 24. When we multiply, the what? The area. So they all have an area of 24. Set 5. Oh, sorry, Ivan, did you have something else for set 4? Yeah, they were all rectangles too. Set 5. And now I know we kind of mixed up our groups today a little bit, but set 5. Christian, right? Yeah, Christian, what did you say about this?
6 is the common. Is like the common number.
Oh. Like all of the denominators kind of relate to 6, right? And actually, wait a minute. So if I make 2/3 have a denominator of 6. So what would this would become what 6ths? Not, the numerator wouldn't stay the same.
It would be
4, because if we double the bottom, and it's okay if you forget this. This is stuff we're going to learn this year. If you double the bottom, you double the top. And then, so if I wanted to become 12, and I make my 6 turn into 12, what's my numerator become? 8. So wait a minute. These are actually equal to each other. What about if I want to become 24? And then, Lindy, you can say it on this one if you want. Or somebody was mumbling, that's what I was going to say.
I was also going to say that too.
That's what I thought. Yes, you can say it here. So wait, 16. So these, okay, or not, are all equal. The 8, crap. Could I turn 2/3 into something over 18?
Yeah.
How do I get from 3 to 18? Times 6? What's 2 times 6? 12. All of these cards are actually the same. Yeah. They're different numbers, numbers, but they're all the same. Guys, this isn't your math notes. There's a section in your math notes about equivalent fractions. It's exactly like this. What about this one, set 6? Who had this one? Yeah, I think you have something to say, but I don't know that you had, or maybe you had multiple sets yesterday. Destiny?
They all equal 0.
They all equal 0. If you do the math, they all equal 0. And wait, so I got confused over here, and Destiny had to correct me. Why does this one equal 0?
Because you have to do the multiplication first before you even do subtraction.
Yeah, the order of operations tells us that multiply and divide comes before add and subtract. And this is how we will always write the order of ops in my classroom, because this is the only way that actually really makes sense. We'll talk about why later. We got too much to discuss. Set 7, it's actually top to bottom, because multiply divide happens at the same time. Add subtract happens at the same time. Miss, you got something about set 7?
They're all polygons.
They're all polygons. Who else? Or anybody else? You got another one, Miss? Well, hold on. Let me go to Lily first, and I'll come back. Lily?
If you count up all the sides and divide by 2, they divide fairly.
Oh, they'll have an even amount of sides. Yeah. Miss?
None of them are 3D.
Ooh, they're all 2D shapes, right? So yeah, none of them are 3D, or we could say they're all 2D. Nice. And to close us out, set 8. Who had set? Ooh, this was a weird one. Anyone? Maybe we avoided set 8.
I don't know if everybody got set 8.
Yeah, because we only have 8 of us, so maybe we avoid. It's all right. Even if we had. Ooh, Lily?
I think Raphael and we only got polygons for this. And
Okay.
Raphael had
My only thing I'm curious is if we add up all the sides, do they maybe have the same perimeters? Right? Because they do have numbers that we could add up. Does anyone know how to find the area of weird, like?
Yeah, she said like 36.
Oh, are all the perimeters 36?
I think so.
So 10 plus 9.
Oh no.
Phoenix has ghosts. 10 plus 9. 10 plus 9. 19 plus 7. 26 plus 4. 30 plus 6. Yeah, that's 36. Yeah, I wonder if they're all 36. Yeah. Sweet. So, who wants to gamble?
I personally
bet 1 cent.
Who thinks all of you can outsmart me?
Me.
Now, especially, hold on. There's no tricks here. Especially if I let you choose first. Right? So, like, I can't choose the same thing you choose. Right? And I'll let you guys choose first. Do you think that you could, like, analyze the situation and decide a best choice?
No.
Well, I think the question in your mind should be, well, what the heck is the situation? Right? So, here's our game. Okay? So, actually, anyone want to read? We should probably read a little bit now. Yeah, Gabe, you want to read? All right, so read this first paragraph, and then if you want to read the second, you can, or we can tag off somebody else. No, keep out 1, 1, 2. You can really just keep out everything you got. So, Gabe, go ahead.
Analyzing a game. Have you ever watched someone win a game again and again? Do you think that person just has good luck?
Yes.
In many cases, winners have strategies that increase their chances of winning. How can you develop a winning strategy? Today, you will start to answer these questions. Later in this course, you'll learn more about analyzing a game.
So, if you want to read the second paragraph, you can, or we can ask if anyone else wants to tag in. Anyone else?
I'll do it. No one else wants to do it. Anybody else want to read before I do? Okay.
Sure, Jana, go ahead.
Throughout this course, it will be important for you to describe and explain your ideas. In this lesson, you will play a game called Coloramas. As you play, describe any patterns that you notice. Also, explain your thinking about why certain choices might be better than others. Pay close attention to what is happening as you play, so that can give you ideas for developing a winning strategy.
All right, so I know, especially this far into class, some of you aren't listening anymore. So look at your 1, 1, 2 and read the rules of Colorama. Because I will have zero sympathy if you lose because you didn't understand the rules. Nope, read the rules. You're all old enough to know how to read rules.
Where's the orange space on the board? Well, there be an orange space on the board.
That is our board. See the orange space? You read. All right, so yeah, as some of you are complaining about, that doesn't even have colors up there, right? As we talked about yesterday, color coding is hugely beneficial. So here you go. Here is color on. Your goal will be to pick a color for the class. Notice that each color is on both sides. So purple, green, and yellow are your choices. I mean, and orange, I guess. You could pick orange. So your goal is to talk as a team right now and decide what color is your team going to pick. I'm going to go around the room and ask every team what color they want to pick, and the color with the most votes gets to be the class color. So if all your teams agree, obviously that's not difficult. But if there is not a consensus, we'll take whatever color has the most votes. Okay? So who can summarize the rules for us? Like, you read them, you understand them, you know what's going to happen when we play the game. Because the first thing that's going to happen when we play is flip, 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 except your rules said that there were going to be pluses and minuses. Up here we decided to put heads and tails. Nobody wants to paraphrase the rules? I will if we need to.
Can you?
I can. So, if it's a heads, we move your token, or like the token, to the right. So this token is all of us, right? But we're betting on the color, right? So we're betting on the end color. So what would happen right here for this round, because we always start on orange. Heads, heads, tails. What does this heads tell me to do? Move right or forward, right? Because this is like the positive direction. What's this heads tell me to do? Move forward again. And what's this tails tell me to do? Move backwards. So purple would have won that first round, right? Purple would have won that first round, but then I reset the token back to orange. So chat with your team. What color do you want to vote on from your team? On your graph paper, squiggly line across it, put 823. Below the squiggly line, put 823.
Can we put a straight line?
Fine, if you really...
Literally the first color I see.
I'm gonna do.
Wait, no, you said green.
I don't know, most days I'm feeling squiggly.
Me too. I never do
I
straight.
don't see a color. That
You what?
okay, green.
All right, we ready?
First color I see.
Everyone decided? Talk with each other? All right, so I'm going to use cards so that one person doesn't just like get to be in charge. So first group that gets to vote is June. What's your group voting? Green. So go ahead and write that down. And actually, Miss Martin, can you maybe help me keep a mental track of how many votes?
Yes.
Destiny, what's your group choosing? Green. We got 2 votes green. Lindy, what's your group choosing? Green. We got 3 votes green. Addie, what's your group choosing? Or sorry, Addie already. Jana, what's your group choosing? Purple. All right, 3 greens, 1 purple. Ivan, what's your group choosing? Green. 4 votes green. Raphael's not here. Donovan's in that group. Margot, what's your group choosing? Purple.
Raise your hand if your group choose green.
So we got 4 and 2 right now. We got 4 greens, 2 purples.
Yep. No.
Christian, what are you guys choosing? Purple. And you don't have your name 10 up. I can't call on you if your name 10's not. Oh, it just fell down. Well, no, I know Gabe, but where's your name 10? We got to make a new one if we don't have ours. Gabe, what color is your group choosing? Because without a name 10, I can't call.
Hi.
All right, so wait, no. Are we 4-4? Oh, well, that's lame. How do we break the tie? Miss Hassan,
Oh, wait, green is
break the tie for us. Purple or green? I mean,
No.
you can tell the context if you would like.
Green.
So, when I flip all these coins, 3 things will happen, and each of those things is a right or left heads moves us right, tails moves us left. We always start on orange. The class is tied right now. Purple versus green.
Purple.
Green.
You're feeling
Green.
All right, all right, you ready? So we always start on orange. Ready? All right, flip, flip, flip. All right, tails, tails, heads. So what do I do?
Back, back.
Left, left, right, right, left, left.
No.
Oh my god. That's unfair.
You know,
All right, ready to go again? Now, hold up. In a few, I would write down our results, because in a few turns, I'll let you change your answer. And then we won't ask Miss Hasani, because she doesn't really know what's going on over here. We just kind of threw that at her randomly. No, the thing is, if Miss Hasani took a second to think about this, she's smart. She could figure out the trick of this, but there's no trick. It's math.
It can't go on green.
But I did quotations because it's what people say. It's a trick. It's not a trick. It's not. It's math.
It can't land on green.
All right, you ready? Christian, put your hand up, sir. Flip, flip, flip. Tails, heads, tails. So left, right, left. Purple.
Oh my god.
All right, you ready? Reset. Reset. Purple's got 2 wins. All right, you ready? You ready? Flip, flip, flip. Ah, this didn't flip. Flip.
there it goes.
Heads, tails, heads. So right, left, right.
You should have actually rigged.
Yeah, why didn't you guys listen to us? Miss Hodge,
Talk with your team about what you just discovered. Then I will use my cards.
How many times?
I will use my cards to let somebody share out.
It's rigged. That's all I'm gonna say.
It is not rigged.
It is rigged.
It technically is.
Well, hope you guys never go to Vegas.
In a row, counting like the.
Everything in Vegas might as well be rigged.
I have no idea.
I know this.
I told you.
Yellow or purple.
You were gonna take
You can't
a
land.
yellow.
And then back or neither. So it can't go back.
We would have gotten one. We would have gotten.
All right. Now this is one of those times when, like, I don't always adhere to using my random cards, and when I hear somebody they've just like got it, I want to give them that chance because there's a lot of research about you guys can teach each other better than I can teach you. So Christian, would you like to come up and talk about your friend? You seem real like amped up about like, I got it, and I know like I think Christian knows how you guys should bet, and I think we should probably listen to Christian. You can come up if you want to help like make sense of it all. I mean, shoot, man, you're the teacher now. I gotta figure out how to pay you.
So, basically, it doesn't land.
All right, listen. Hey. So here's the one thing: when a student is at the board, you owe them more respect than you give me, because I'm used to being up here, right? Y'all aren't. So when you come up here, you should be able to expect that your classmates are gonna listen and be respectful and like. So let's show Christian even more respect than what you guys show me.
So every time it lands on like heads, tails, or heads, it'll go forward, back, forward. It will never land on green because there's 3 spots. If there was a third option, like I don't know, a third option or something, might have a better chance of landing on green. But basically, it can only land on purple or yellow because it'll only go either twice or once or 3. So it's impossible to get green basically.
It's impossible to get yellow.
So yeah, what Christian is saying totally makes sense, and you guys are really quiet. So I'm thinking some of you are like trying to process it. And I'm gonna fix one little thing you said because I know what you meant, and I heard you say it correctly back there, but then you kind of stumbled up here. What Christian is really trying to communicate is the only place we can land is 1 or 3 away. What he's getting at is landing 2 away is impossible because when we flip these, even when we have like tails, heads, what happens when we have a tails and a heads? So essentially they cancel out, and there's one move left to make. And if I go right, I'm on heads, or I'm on purple. If I go left, I'm on purple. Now, I can make it to yellow, but what does it take to make it to yellow? 3 heads or 3 tails, right? So if I get my flip, it probably won't work. Ooh. If I got all heads, I could make it to yellow. But heads, tail, like I'm never gonna land on green. But guys, is this a trick? No. It's math. And guys, we'll talk about Vegas many times this year, but if you go to Vegas, or even the Columbus casino, right? We have a casino here in Columbus. The game is designed for you to lose. Now, can you win?
Yeah.
You can succeed if you know. Now, so here's the thing. In this game, could green win? No. So, I mean, you could argue this game is rigged, but who made the color choice? You did.
Well, all of
You
you
did.
Oh, Jana's got a little attitude. All right. So this game, would we call this fair or unfair? Do you think there's an equal chance of winning on each color? If I assigned you the color, is this fair?
No.
No. With you getting to pick the color, is it fair?
Yeah.
So so you pick purple, right? Does everyone want to change to purple? And does anyone want to change to yellow? Is it just because you like yellow better, Alex, or do you think yellow has a better chance?
I just like yellow.
Okay, that's okay. You can have your preference of favorite color. But so you pick purple. If I can't also pick purple, is this game fair for me? No, because you all have a better chance of winning. So on your graph paper, let's write down the word fair, question. Or you, not question mark, let's just write down the word fair.
Where? Does it matter where we put it?
Just on your graph paper where you have space to write next. This is the wrong slides presentation. Math 7. So, fair, because some of you came and asked me about this relating to your homework. What fair is actually defined by is the festival in the fall that everyone goes and eats junk food at. No, it is an equal chance of winning. That's not how you spell winning. For all players. Yeah, you should write this so you know what fair means. You should write this so you know what fair means. See, this is what I've learned in my what feels like forever teaching. But being loud is less productive. Kids seem to be more scared when you're quiet. And if Pettigrew gets real serious and whispers, it's serious. Yeah, she's serious. And now she's a mom, so you gotta watch out for that. You don't want to mess with 10 years, and I've been with most of all these same people, so we're all really close to each other. But that's tough for you guys because we all know each other really well, and we text all the time, and
We know what's going on.
yeah. All right, so in that game, though, and I think we all kind of already figured this out, is there anything that you could choose that would guarantee your win? No, because even purple, which seems better than yellow, but it's not guaranteed, right? We didn't get a chance where yellow won, but if we played that game long enough, do we think yellow could win? Yeah, we know it could, right? You just need heads, or tails. Sweet. So there's no I don't know, there's a best choice, but there's no the choice, right? There's no we'll win every time. So this is what I mean by I was a little behind playing catch up. So now I think we get to do my next thing. So Miss Martin, would you mind grabbing the next set of worksheets back there, the 113? Thank you so much. All right, we got another game to play.
Is it a fun game?
Crap. Wrong chapter.
Mr. Hudson,
Yes, sir.
we would have a 33% chance of getting yellow.
We will revisit. Like, I think you're right, but we will revisit calculating those probabilities. Right now, we're just trying to talk about, like, this is better than that. But yeah, I think you're right. It's all right. We moved faster than I thought, which was awesome, guys. Good work today. All right, so 113 is today's homework. However, I'm going to give you guys probably 5 minutes, so I can flip my timer and be honest about 5 minutes, to look at the Guess My Number activity up there. Well, it's on your paper. It's probably easier than looking up here. But we want to try to figure out, what are these mystery numbers? Kind of like what was on your homework for last night. That isn't quite due yet. But guys, this is one of those situations where if you're going to try to be sneaky and start on your homework, now I'm going to look for things to be written in your examples from class section, like for 113. So we want to be writing things in on our notes, or like jotting things down or underlining things. So like this part of your paper should not be blank after we're done, right? There should be something written down here, some highlighting, some underlining, some solutions. So go ahead and start with your team. You got 5 minutes, then we'll talk together. All right, I lied. You got 3 minutes, and then we got to leave class. So then we'll start with this tomorrow. Then I will eventually be caught up. Well, the end is 55. Actually. Unless we shifted things a minute or two. I think Gabe just wants to stay here.
We're going to connections next.
And I love that you love math. All right, does anyone want to help us with number 1 of how you're thinking through this? When I triple my number and add 5, see, here's the problem. Now I got to use cards, so I got multiple hands up. So, what? Sorry. Look, it's random. All right, Ivan doesn't have his hand up. Jana, what are you thinking for number 1?
It's 2. The answer is 2 because 2 times 3 equals 6, and then 6 plus 5 equals 11.
So Jana's thinking, okay, what can I triple that then when I add 5, we end up at 11. So she said, if I use 2, that tripled is 6. That and 5 gets 11. Now, is there a different way she could have kind of worked through this, Lily?
My strategy is to work backwards.
What do you mean? Say more.
So you get, so the last number on the problem, so 11, you just do the opposite from add 5. So subtract 5 and divide it by, like, whatever. 3. Sorry.
Interesting. So Lily says I can get the same thing working it backwards and essentially just undo what was done.
And it works for the next 2.
I like the method.
So we got about a minute left. I need you right now to take that minute to clip everything back in your binder. If your plan book is out, that definitely needs clipped in. Your name tag needs slipped into one of your pockets, right? So we still have it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, thank you for teaching my kids.
Oh, you're welcome. Hopefully, it is not like my start slide. There should be no such thing as boring. All right, thank you guys so much. Once you get all packed up and clipped back in, you are free to go. Good luck at connections. Make you think real hard.
Please no. Why did you say I want to go?